All right. So, for those of you who don't know, I had a really bad accident back at the beginning of the summer with my Duramax dually, and it's a '03 LB7. And thank you, Lord, by the grace of God, is the only reason I am here and walking, because it was a terrible accident. So, anyway, I wound up having to purchase another truck, and I didn't have just liability on it's all I had, so I didn't get any kind of coverage. And so I was just kind of at a total loss on the truck. So I did wind up having to sell a boat and purchase another truck. So I wound up, let me show you what I got here. I wound up scoring a '05, and I got it at a good price. You know, I only gave $5,000 for it, and then I wound up, I drove it home from Georgia. It did need the head gaskets. That's LLY. So that's kind of what this second video is on, is finishing up the head gaskets. And this is the LB7 truck that I own. And unfortunately, me and my son was on the way back from Florida one night, and he dozed off at the wheel. So let me show you when it was all said and done. There was absolutely no floor. I was sitting in this passenger side here, and I mean, as you can see, there is no floorboard. We're looking at the transmission and the frame, and I mean, it's unbelievable. The grace of God is the only reason I'm here. Yeah, it was a terrible accident, and you can look right up in there, and there is no more floor. So that's where my feet were. Thank you, Jesus, I still have my feet. So anyway, on to the LLY truck. I've actually got my headlights over here at the shop now, where I cleared them today. But I'm going to go over everything with you on doing the head gasket procedure. I wound up, me being a cheapie like I am, I wound up scoring a truck, like I said, for $5,000. It's got 338 on it, but the thing runs great, drives beautifully. Now the interior, I'm going to have to do some cleaning inside, but the engine, like I said, besides it overheating, which is a major issue, but the engine sounded great, runs smooth, everything there seems to be good, no major other leaks. So anyway, I wound up doing the AC Delco grade C gaskets, which of course I scored cheap on eBay, and then I just did the cheap gasket set from there up. All the cheap China stuff, come in a kit, so I scored it dirt cheap. And then the head studs, I did do the stud kit, but I only spent like $215 on them shipped. I'm not spending the money on the ARPs, I just can't afford to. So anyway, I did like bottom hose, couple of other things, the little heater hose connections and stuff. Why not? While it's out, I just bought the truck. I have no idea how old they are. I've had them pop before on other GMs when I'd be on the highway or something, and I'm just not going to have something stupid like that if I can help it keep me stranded on the side of the road or anything like that. I go to Florida and stuff, pulling the boat over there, and it's like 700 miles where we go one way, so I don't mind driving. I love it. It's just I want something good and dependable and comfortable. So anyway, stick around and you'll see it get put back together. Hey Prince, what you doing, boy? Hey Prince, Princey Pooh, what you doing? Sweet. Got my heads back from the machine shop. Thank you, Jimmy. And it just needed to be resurfaced and cleaned up. I do like seeing them clean, especially these intake ports, because I'm going to tell you, this thing was nasty with the, it's got the EGR and the PCV and all, and it keeps recirculating. But the head's all nice and machined. Said the valves were good and sealed and seated, so got the little pieces here, the intake pieces go on the head, everything nice and cleaned out. That stuff was so thick and gunked up, and even the Y bridge assembly and all nice and clean. Yeah, boy, I like seeing that now. Almost has me wanting to delete my stuff. Keep it clean like this. But I think I'll leave it stock. Alright, the 05 LLY, about to put the heads back on. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and change the water pump out. And you got to take the balancer off because some jerk designed it where there's one bolt right behind the balancer. So I'm going to do the old, got the ratchet up against the bottom of the frame rail there, and some plastic here just to help hold it on and keep the radiator hopefully protected. I don't expect anything to happen, but you never know. Got my little remote wired jumper set up. Ready, Dad? Here goes nothing and here goes everything all at once.
Where are the injectors?
Watch yourself. Over there on the table, under that pink rag. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Might have been the wrong direction on the ratchet there. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, you can go ahead and disconnect it. Well, we finally broke it. I had it on the wrong direction at first, and then the batteries were dead. I didn't realize because it's been sitting around so much. So then I had to get the old 200 amp jump start out on them, and it gave it enough juice to go ahead and pop her loose. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, you can undo it by hand now.
You ought to use that to tighten it.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Nah. But that's how you do it, folks. Easy peasy. If you got a good ratchet or something, get you a good Matco or something that ain't gonna break. Got to be tough. And good charged batteries. Little trick to putting in the dowel pin. There we go. Everything's cleaned up, ready for the new gasket. Without scratching anything. Woo! Looking good. Got that, putting in the head studs. The dowel pins made it a little bit of a pain in the ass to get the head on. But with some little taps, love taps from the mallet, it finally went. Head studs are installed. About to put the washers and the nuts and the grease that was supplied with it. Got all my bolts and stuff loose, taking the water pump out. This is how the water pump is bolted into the housing. And I got a new gauge pump I'm going to go ahead and install in it. And replace a couple O-rings. Wow. My ratchet. So then we got the water pump out of the housing. Trying to clean up the housing. Get it cleaned up with the new seals and gaskets. And new water pump install. Make sure you use all your O-rings and all that good stuff. Alright, gonna pop the water pump assembly on new pump. Gonna put some lube around the O-ring here. Got the new gasket on. Put the tube in, the water pipe going back, and went ahead and did the new O-ring back there. Happened to find one over at Advance Auto, and about to put the pump assembly on. Shop dog, what you doing, Jasper? Shop dog, what you doing? All right, went ahead and finished up putting the water pump on. Got her all tightened up. Moved my power steering pump up out of the way. Got this side all cleaned up. New gasket installed. The head's over there on the table. About to come over and get dropped on. Hope this one goes smooth. Dowel pins are in place. That way hopefully the head, you know, will drop on. I had the machine's head, I had the heads machined. So I took and chamfered the holes a little bit. Me and my dad were looking at it and having an issue with the passenger side getting it to drop on that back dowel. So we chamfered the head, did 2 holes, and boy, it dropped. Alright, got both heads on, torqued down, got my new head studs installed. Time to start putting the rockers on and adjust them. Get the valve covers on, keep everything out of here, get the little Y bridge and all in, go ahead and start tightening my exhaust and stuff down. Alright, so I spun the motor over after I adjusted the valves first time around. I spun it over quite a few times and then double checked the valves. A couple I felt like needed minor adjustment, so it was good to double check them. But they're all adjusted. I got all the surfaces clean. Now I'm about to drop the valve covers on. Alright, so when you're a poor man, you got to do what you got to do. And so what I'm doing is I made up my own little ultrasonic cleaner. I put my fuel lines in it, and I put my injectors in it. I'll show you what it's doing. It's got just enough vibration. I got them just soaking in a can of sea foam and some gas mixed. Now the injectors, I've only got the tips submerged into it, of course. So we're just going to let it run for a little while and see what happens. I'll take them out and see how I can get them to clean up when it's done. I don't know, I'll give it 20-30 minutes and see what it's like. The Jaspered shop dog doesn't like it. But I guess a lot of stuff did come off the injectors. I mean, that's what's down in the bottom there of my little ultrasonic mix. So yeah, a lot of stuff come off. I'm still gonna have to clean them by hand, but that should help loosen everything up, and definitely got a lot of stuff off of it. Jasper doesn't like it. He doesn't know what it is. It's strange to him. Alright. Looking pretty good today. Got the valve covers all bolted down. Got my main fuel rail pieces back on, the Y bridge, and everything is snug and tight. That little inlet tube. Get him, boy. Alright, finally making some good headway with it. Went ahead and did the new lower hose while I was in there. And I'm just finishing up putting on the power steering pump now because I had to do a new pressure line up to the booster there. But all the electrical, everything has been plugged in and tightened down. And this side of the engine's pretty well complete. Already bled the fuel system and all, so should be starting it up in a little while. Alright, got her all buttoned up. Everything is hooked up nice and tight. I do want to put a regular top radiator hose on it, but for tonight, just to try it, I'm going with that universal that I had. Gonna fill her up with just some water because I want to check for leaks, and then I'll just give it a chance to flush out and fill it up tomorrow with some coolant. Let's see if she fires up. Got her finally finished, all buttoned up. It's been a hell of a big job. but it is definitely doable if you got some tools and mechanical knowledge. I never really worked on a diesel, especially head gaskets and stuff like that. I have done an LB7, the injectors on it, and that was pretty in-depth, but to go this far was pretty good. So let's make sure it's primed up on fuel. I did have the bleeder open. I hope it got all the air out because you know, there's a lot of hoses there and I replaced all of them, so it's got to fill the whole system up. But I guess this is the moment of truth. Let's see what she does. Hopefully you can watch for leaks. Alright, here we go. I think it's got some air in the fuel.
I don't see nothing leaking.
Let me take on that. I had to let some more air out of the bleeder on the top of the primer there, the fuel cover housing, and it definitely had a lot of air. I don't know if I got it out yet. Let's give her a try. Try number 2. Well, guess we'll try her again. Try number 3. Hopefully third time's a charm. Come on, baby. Fire her up. Well, I don't know now. Alright, finally, after about 10 minutes of just messing around, pumping that primer and trying to keep bleeding it out as good as I could, and finally fire it up. Good deal, man. Good to hear her running again, I tell you. I don't see any leaks anywhere. So far so good, no erratic sounds or anything. Underneath still looks good. See what happens here. Oh, I do have an ABS sensor unplugged. I forgot on the driver's side. Looks like I got a couple dash bulbs out. Let's see if she'll start now that it's been primed up. Come on, girl. A little more like it. Batteries need to be topped off, but she is running. Woo! Yes, sir. Good deal. I can't wait to get this thing back on the road. I sure do miss having a nice diesel dually. So, need to do all the interior next, like take everything out and detail it real nice, fix my bottom seat, and put new carpet, and I'm going to redo my headliner. So, yes, Big Red is on the way. About time, really. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, so I had it running just a few minutes, but I'll tell you, this is going to be the test, real quick test for me, because before I did these head gaskets, if it would have ran for 30 seconds, it would have pumped so much into here. Let's see if we got some pressure or not. Oh, nice. Yes, no pressure at all. So hopefully it will not build any pressure until it gets enough heat where everything starts expanding. So, right on. Woo! All right, let me get this everything put back together on the front here, which ain't that big a deal. And be ready to ride tomorrow. Check her out. Get that coolant in there and oil change. And should be good to roll. All right, so I finished it up last night, fired it up. Took a long time to get her primed. Everything is all back stock, 338,000 on it. The only thing I changed is I did do the eBay, the little intake, the turbo inlet. And it fit really good, so I'm not worried about that. It definitely looks better than the original piece, less restrictive. So let's see how she does sitting overnight and see if she'll fire up today. Nice, nice. So far, so good. I'm going to go ahead and get the oil changed and go ahead and put some nice fresh coolant in it. Get rid of the water I put in last night after I drive it down the street. Check it out. Make sure everything is definitely good. All right. Big Red. Got the headlights and marker lights, cab lights, the tail lights. See, I like doing them like this. They come up looking so good. All I did is, I'm a cheapie. I'm not buying new tail lights and headlights just to have them start getting moisture in them after a couple months because they're cheap China junk anyway. These are stock lights. All I did is I took sanding them down with the DA and sprayed them with clear with my gun. Automotive clear. Just seal them right back up. You just got to make sure when you're sanding them, you get through that layer of the bad stuff. When it's coming off yellow, you want to keep on going until you see the white. But yeah, I can't wait to get them back on Big Red here. Then get my simulators, and I think she'll be looking pretty decent for cheap. Still in for a good under $6 grand easy. Just a lot of work.